Are you a morning person?
I'm just a person. I don't necessarily have a time of day that I am the best version of that. I'm just, sometimes it's nighttime.
Hmm. When when do you make music the best though?
I was thinking about this yesterday. Okay, um, it kind of depends on what my life looks like. Like 20, it's like an era thing. Like 2018, 2019, I was starting around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. doing a private collection. Our sessions usually started around 2 p.m. Right now, I'm starting a lot of my sessions later, like 8 p.m. So it's kind of it's a different time period or different time of day kind of produces a different result. But I
Yeah.
like them all.
I was about to say because like you also live in LA now, which, bright place. People have been saying that, especially the last project, but also about coffee, that it sounds a lot brighter than your previous work. Would you say that that time of day, but also your location has made the last two projects a little bit more brighter?
I guess you can say that. I don't know that it's like single-handedly responsible, uh, because it's also like circumstance and also my intention. Like I simply did not want to make more dark, or dark is like an oversimplification, but just
Hmm.
heavy. It's hard making heavy work and then going and touring it and performing it and just people walking up to you. I went to a Earl Sweatshirt concert the other day, and he came out for his encore. And some of his fans are in the front row, and they're like, "Grief, grief, play grief." And on the mic, he's like you hear yourself, right? Like you hear what you're yelling at me. Sometimes it can feel that way.
Hmm.
Um, so I think of it more of a as a balancing act, like a trapeze artist. Like it's like you just it's like you did that, now balance it out. It's not that you can't do that. It's
Yeah.
that it's both sides, but to hopefully present myself in the way that I feel like I exist in my life. Like I'm not just one thing. I'm a multitude of shit.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I do it that way, I guess.
Yeah. Is that something that No Idea had to take out of you? Or was that something that just came because that's what you wanted to do or what you needed to say?
I think is what I wanted to do. Um, I think my relationship with No ID, what was cool about that, especially when it came to actually writing the songs, for the most part, he let me rock. It was just kind of like, it was not different than any other Saba album in that, the actual content on the project was led by my thoughts.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like he was a great like teammate in that whatever song I wanted to make, I felt like I had the support to actually create it. But I still got to lead the subjects and the actual matter of the songs.
You've said in many interviews that the album was created out of conversations that the two of you had. And I was wondering, when he asked you the question, what do you want to say? What was your answer?
Did he ask me that? What do I want to say? That might be a that might be a paraphrase that makes what he actually said maybe a little challenging. There were so many conversations. I think the more important conversation than what do you want to say was who are you? What like the who are you or what are you even? Like I think that's what I wanted to provide context around, wanted to provide support around, like these experiences that kind of give you your identity, some chosen, some circumstantial, but like a song like Head Rap, for instance, is like
Hmm.
so based in your identity, its appearance, but it's still based in your identity. And then there's certain like like small lines where maybe the song doesn't revolve around, like for instance, an example on a song breakdown, the song doesn't necessarily revolve around this concept, but there's a line on the song where I say I'm an introvert but I'm popular. And it's like there's so many like small bits of information throughout the album where it's like I'm doing my best to kind of showcase my skill as a rapper on like a technical level, but I'm also trying to provide context for, I guess, my positioning, my stance on a lot of
Hmm.
things. I just, why I feel how I feel. Um,
It might be
so
a
yeah,
hard, yeah, it might be a hard question because we are so much. I mean, that's what you just said. Like you're heavy, but you're also light and bright. Um, but what did you tell him when he asked you who are you?
I made a bunch of songs. I made a bunch of songs. The what was a fun process aside from just the literal who are you,
Hmm.
attempting to answer that in a way that kind of like invents a character. So the the last song that we did on this album was West Side Bound 4. In that song I say I'm really the West Side Wizard. And that I guess to take a 3 year process, a 3 year search kind of, and make something that was asked to me 3 years ago, and it took 3 years to get that answer. That's the answer that I came up with. I'm like, you know what? As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I think this might be what I am.
A West Side Wizard.
In fact, the two E's, the West Side Wizard.
And then when we say West Side, are we talking also geographically? Because I know that
About
you.
in Chicago, geographically being in Chicago, not
Okay.
necessarily. That's not tied to my California
Okay.
experience.
Because I was about to say, because I know that being from Chicago is a big part of your identity.
It really is. Like I feel like it's given me so much, so many stories, so much of my context for how I understand the world, and even I think the music that I make is still, despite being in California for years now, is still so centered around my upbringing in the city of Chicago, you know?
Is the city of Chicago in the back of your mind when you're making music, feeling like, what are they going to think?
Not necessarily feeling like what are they gonna think. I am curious. Like I'd be a liar to say that wasn't a part of my thinking. I don't know that it happens when I'm making the music. I think that's maybe a thought once the music is made. It's like, okay, now I have it's tangible now. What are
Hmm.
they? Which is always it's always relieving. Like to go home and play what you've been working on. Like it's going back home with the private collection was like a really great experience to me. Like just having a room of people, No I.D came and we just got to press play and kind of do like a Q and A, like have people like talk and interact with the music and like kind of give us their feedback or ask questions. And similarly with Coffee, I kind of had like a less official version, but I still got to have that version in the studio where it's like just people in Chicago. It's not even like I really knew all of these people. They were just people in a room, and it's like pass me the aux.
Hmm.
And their feedback is always so critical because I think a lot of my context isn't missed on them.
Mm.
Like have seen people that kind of fit like how I'm like, yeah, I'm a multitude. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And like they've seen those people exist. So sometimes when I'm like, I might be having a heavy day that's also a light day and trying to explain that to somebody who maybe that's not been their experience. Sometimes it's like, you got to kind of pick. We don't really understand
Yeah.
both. Whereas in Chicago, I think there are a lot of people like me that kind of just are like, I don't know. I don't know if I could say mind fuck, but they're like just a multitude in a way where sometimes it's like sometimes you are a contradiction. Sometimes it's
Right.
like you are, you the non-violent one with weapons.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's like it's like circumstantial, but being from a place like that, I feel like maybe a level of like representation, like
Hmm.
kind of telling a story of not just yourself but of a community, you
Yeah.
know.
So what keeps you in California right now?
Nothing.
Because
Nothing. I leave as much as I can. uh,
you speak about Chicago with so much love and passion that I'm
I
like, why are you not there?
really love my workplace out here. I am out here. Like, I think sometimes, at least I'll just speak to my life. Like, it is nice to be at a point in my life where, like, my job in California is to work on music. So I wake up, I usually chill out for a bit, and then I go to the studio to work on
Hmm.
music. It's
Hmm.
kind of
Right.
maybe not every day, but let's say it's 91% of my day is out
Hmm.
here.
Hmm. Hmm. No
Being in
distractions.
being in my hometown, it just would look different. Not to say I couldn't do it, but it would look different. And I think I'm still in the era of this part of my life, you know.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
say I plan to like retire here and like stay here forever, but I've been I've been out here working. And also I I want to love it first before I leave this place. Like I've been out here for so long. I'm like I owe it to myself to like fall in love with this place and then leave.
Hmm. How long have you been there now? 6, 7?
5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. But this is the thing. So many of those years were the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It doesn't count. Yeah. Yeah.
Those years, I'm like, I can't hold that
Yeah.
against
Hmm.
California. So in the last like this, I've been having a good year out here this year. This year has been good. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of
But I also wanted to talk to you about mm, the spiritual factor of your work. Because the song How to Impress God really stood out to me. And it made me wonder, does spirituality have a place in your life, in your work? And if so, in what way?
okay. I think let me think a little longer before I answer this because this is a little, in my opinion, a little nuanced. Okay, so How to Impress God started as a song where I wanted to I was just trying to flex a bunch of shit in that song. Just like I did this and I did this and I did this and I've done this and that was like the original concept for the song. And then it kind of immediately became layered the second that God was brought into it. And it felt honest to me. It felt very honest, like doing okay, perception wise, it always feels like people are talking to me like I've done the thing. Whatever the thing is like, oh yeah, okay, well, why do I feel like this if I've done the thing? And that feeling of like that, I, man, I wish I knew how to describe it in words. I think that's why it's a song, because I didn't know how to describe it like in just conversationally. The song for me captured such a like honest emotion that I feel like I've been living with the whole time that I've been doing my career as an artist professionally. Like it's like you're doing all of these things and it's like you are seeing success in it, but you also feel that kind of like, okay, if I'm doing all of this, why do I still feel this?
Is it the idea of that you had an image in mind of what it means to be a rapper or an artist, or did you expect that you would feel a certain feeling?
I think I had an image in my mind of what I expected living a successful life to kind of consist of. And I thought that would in turn offer me this satisfaction mentally, spiritually, like this peace, this comedy, this calmness is what I meant to say. And I think doing what I've been doing for so long, it's like I think that's a song where I'm like, okay, you kind of realize over years, it's like it won't come from your work. You have to actually practice mindfulness, and you got to actually practice, like you got to be in tune with yourself to really be peaceful. And that's something that making that song helped me document that emotion.
Hmm.
But I guess to go back to your question, which was centered around spirituality, it plays uh it plays a giant role in, I think, communicating large emotions to people. Really big emotions that I don't always have the word for. It's like I think when I bring God or a higher power into the conversation, it just offers a level of understanding, I think, to people on what the actual concept, what the actual idea that I'm trying to express is. I think it plays a role in my life in being that I I don't know, it's difficult. It's difficult to really describe because it's not like I'm not a very religious person. I don't like I'm not a practicing anything, but at the same time I feel so connected to whatever the source or whatever
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
whatever's in me, wherever these songs are coming from, like I feel very connected to it, sometimes more than others.
Hmm.
And yeah, when it happens to me in song form, I try not to shy away from it because I think if I need to hear the message, I'm like somebody else probably needed to hear this, so
Hmm.
I kind of let it rock whatever idea that I had.
You know, it kind of like ties a little bit into that. I said that the last album, but also Coffee sounds so much lighter and brighter. And you talking about, doing that work, wondering like, why do I not still feel the way that I expected to feel? Do you feel that with the last album and also with Coffee that you've come closer to that feeling that you thought you were going to feel sooner?
I think now I'm just accepting of however I feel. I don't really
Ah.
have an expectation on my like emotional, you know, I don't know. I think just expecting to feel a way is kind of out of my frame of thinking. Like you could just wake up and this is how I feel.
This is, yeah,
And that I think is more what inspired Coffee because it was just waking up and going.
it's a great bridge. Because Coffee, two projects, 1 year, something you've always wanted to do. What made it possible to do it this year?
Not being precious about it. I
Mm.
think sometimes it's like to be in a studio, even studio environment, like I made Coffee in a very short amount of time. I guess in comparison, like I don't necessarily think there's any amount of time that should be assigned to how long music's supposed to take. So I don't know if I use short objectively or just short in comparison to the private collection. 3 years versus 2 weeks is a very different amount of
Two
time.
weeks is crazy.
2 weeks. 2 weeks is kind of even being like generous because really I could say like one, but we could say two in total, including mix, master, features, everything. 2 weeks. In that span, I'm not necessarily shutting down other parts of my life to make this project.
Hmm.
I'm in the middle of rehearsing for some shows. So I recognize that anytime I get into a rhythm in the studio, a lot of times I'll have a great week and then you have to travel or you have to escape that environment in whatever way. It's like I got some shows this weekend, so I can work until Saturday, but on Saturday, I'm leaving. So knowing that that was my circumstance at the time, I was like, man, I want to start and finish before that, before I leave. So it just kind of changed the way that I was creating. One of the things that I learned doing the private collection, talking to No I.D about it, he was like, yeah, you just make the best decision you can on the music every day until you're done.
And what
It's happening in spurts. It doesn't necessarily like I don't know. That was very informative to coffee though, because it would be like one idea one day, the next day I have two ideas now, but I'm working on the first idea also. The third day, I'm like, okay, do I still like those lines from the first day? Okay, let me edit that. And then by the end of the week, it's like, oh shit, I got 8 songs that I actually love and feel like how I feel right now. Like it
Mhm.
kind of, it was like my playlist for driving around that week, and it was like a really great week. So when I was done, it was just like I don't want to wait to put this out. I want to drop this while this is fresh in my life and while I actually feel like this. So I shout out to Christella. I asked Christella, I'm like, can we put this out next month?
Okay, this is something I have to ask. Why are the songs so short? Because every single time I'm getting into it, I'm like, oh man, it's done. Like the entire project kept me longing for more, which is basically a good thing, actually, but it's also very torturous.
Okay, I'll use an example from the private collection. There's an interlude on private collection called Reciprocity.
Hmm.
When I played that song for every friend of mine, they're like, where's your verse? Where's the rap on this song? And I'm like, oh, I don't have one because I said everything that I wanted to say already. So I can, I can force a rap out for sake of, oh, you're a rapper, you have to do that. But I'm like, but I said everything I wanted to say already. So for me, it's complete already.
Hmm.
And I think, I don't know, the songs didn't feel short when I was making them.
Hmm.
They didn't feel short to me. I didn't I also I'll be honest, I very rarely look at the timestamp on songs when I'm making them. It's just kind of like it's a feeling, like I didn't know Prom King was 7 minutes. It was just like, okay, I said everything I needed to say. I'm done now.
Hmm.
And on this project, it kind of just I don't know. I think that's the way that the wind blew, especially knowing how quickly
Yeah, 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 yeah.
a lot of these were made. It's just kind of like, okay, said what I needed to
Yes.
say. Next.
Yeah, it's a perfect reflection of the entire project, the way it was made. You also recorded a lot of it in your car, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I'll just be in my car. Um, it's a great place to write for me.
Mm.
Like you could just play the music on the speakers and kind of just like sit right there, think, no distraction, just write.
Hmm.
And on this particular project, I realize sometimes I'll be writing in a car. You might forget, like you might have the lyrics to what you wrote, but you might forget how you said it, how you sang it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like so I would start taking my laptop to the car with me and just recording sketches. And some of the sketches sounded good. So I'm like, we could just put that out. That's the song. I don't want to waste the time to re-record this to try to recreate this exact feeling
Uh-huh.
right there.
Yeah. And what does it show about not being so precious? Like, do you think you will be less precious with an album? Like, I know this is more marketed like a mixtape.
I think it's all the same to me.
Mm.
I think how in my what I learned about what I love about music is the
Hmm.
thing to be precious about is not the technicality. It's not the, oh, well, this was recorded on a U-47 into a Neve and into a pop. Like, it's not the technical parts that connect to people. And I think sometimes so much time and effort is placed into something being technically correct, and that didn't have an effect on people. Like, I don't think people are like, that's not the thing that made us like the music. We liked what it made us feel like, or we liked what it sounded like, we liked what you said, but the technical part of it is sometimes it's so much effort in, all right, I have the draft, now let me go to
Hmm.
the studio and re-record it professionally, now let me do the, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, to spend so much time doing a part that doesn't necessarily equate to connection sometimes feels counterintuitive. So I think it's not necessarily about not being precious about the music, but it's about making sure that you're taking the time for the parts that matter to you. And that's, I think, the thing that I unlocked, not just from coffee, but from also private
Yeah.
collection. Like,
Yeah. And
it's that they're connected, but they are very, they almost like, it's like I said earlier about the trapeze act. It's like a balancing. Like, okay, I did private collection where it took 3 years to
yeah.
make,
Yeah.
and we did all of the things technically, and and now this is how I feel today. So you need this as well.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you consider yourself as a part of the underground hip hop scene?
Do I consider myself as a part of the underground hip hop scene?
I almost wanted to do air quotes, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, 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 underground. Like, but I think you understand.
I think I consider myself a part of. And maybe if you did say that, if the air quotes were included, the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
Without air quotes, I don't know. But if air quotes are included, yes. Um, I think of myself as kind of a hybrid. I don't know that I fit in underground. I don't know that I fit mainstream. I'm just kind of like doing whatever I'm
Yeah.
doing. And I think eventually somebody, I think that's something that's assigned. Somebody else got to tell me what it
What you
is.
see, yeah, 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 for sure. That's not something. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Because I was thinking about it a couple weeks ago. It was all over the news how there's like no hip hop in the charts right now, and there were a lot of opinions about it. How do you feel about that?
I don't
Did you
really
feel
have,
anything?
yeah, I don't really have an opinion. I'm like, okay, I could say with my opinion. I'm like, yeah, obviously there's no hip hop in the charts right now. Look outside. At least in America, there's like a, it's like if something can be paid for, we can stop paying for it. And right now, just looking outside at the things that are being paid for, specifically in this country, I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, it makes absolute sense to me that there would be no hip hop in the, like, oh, also hip hop isn't being booked at festivals now. Like, yeah, we are whitewashing this shit. Like, it's over with. Like, look at what, I don't know. To me, I'm like, it'd be so, I was, that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, I understand. But I find it interesting. I do find it interesting that you say it's over with. And maybe I should not take it that seriously. But I saw a video from a hip hop fan saying that she was actually excited about the fact that hip hop was not in the charts right now because she said it was being, yeah, she's like, we need to break stuff down in order to build it back up again.
The best time to, I think, be a fan of hip hop, to be a hip hop artist. Like, it's the best time. I'm sitting right here talking to you about how, yeah, I just went to the studio and I was just being myself. There was no, there are no rules to the shit right now. And I love so much. 90s hip hop, so much 2000s hip hop. I love hip hop since its inception. I be listening to Easy E and shit in the 80s. I love this shit. This is the time where there are the most different styles, there's the most different sonic textures. You can listen to any type of hip hop you imagine. It exists right now. Any rap level, like I hear people like, yeah, people can't rap now. Like people are rapping better right now than
Mm-hmm.
historically they ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Producers have access to tools right now that didn't exist. They got beats that just you couldn't even dream of at a point. And to reduce it to because there's no hip hop charting is like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? A chart? That had nothing to do with hip hop at all. That was all just the sale of hip hop, which I think more than hip hop not being in the charts, the sale of culture is what I think is having a negative impact on the perception of hip hop. People keep selling our shit. Like, it's like, yeah, there's nothing for us right now. So I'm excited. I'm
Yes.
excited at the state of hip hop right now. Like I think, yeah, it might not be another, it might not be no another Kanye West. We might not get another Kendrick Lamar. We might not get another Drake.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Look at everything we do have. We don't even have the attention to sit around and champion another J. Cole right now. We don't have the attention.
Nope.
Michael Jackson could have 10 followers on TikTok right now. And it would not, it's like, bro, just do what you want to do and build your own shit up right now. Cause to chase a a, a crumbling empire just makes no sense to me. I don't even get why it's a conversation. But also as somebody who is in it, it's hard for me to give opinions on this shit. You
I
know, I
mean,
would,
no, I feel like you gave the perfect opinion. And I also saw that Christella is saying retweet. And I,
He was going crazy. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was like, oh my God.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. And this is also one of the reasons because I had a feeling that you were actually excited about it as well. And I also wanted to ask you, do you feel like your peers feel the excitement as well? Or are there people around you who are stressing about it? Or,
I think it's mixed. I think there's a lot of excitements like creatively. There's a million reasons to be stressed because financially, everybody that I know that is a successful artist has a life of that, and all of the money is changing for every artist right now. And because it's changing for every human being, like it's like I don't enjoy when we make artistry or like hip hop an exception to the what's happening in the world.
100%.
It's like, yeah, no, hip hop isn't declining, nigga. The state of the fucking
World. 100%. Yeah.
So I think I feel that excitement though from when I hang out with my peers, when I talk to them, it does feel like everybody I know is in the middle of a project, an album, a video. Like everybody is working so hard right now, and it seems like there's a level of inspiration right now that's like, oh, we can be creative. We could just make what we want to make. We don't have to actually fit into any box right now.
Hmm. Where would you like to see hip hop go? Which is a big question because what is hip hop today?
Where would I like to see it go? Let me think about that. Where would I like to see it go? It's like, where hasn't it gone? I don't really know that I have an answer to that. It kind of feels like it's already transcended anybody's like idea of where it could go. Um, so where would I like to see it go right now? I would like to see it go, okay, this is my like idealist, like utopian version of this, but for me, and part of his familiarity, right? I grew up a certain way, so I miss this about the world. But when your music collection was a thing that you took pride in, it was a thing that I have that. You wanted you wanted the music. It wasn't like there was no point in my entire existence where I was like, you know what I want? Every song ever made. At no point did I think that, why do I have that?
No, 100. I agree.
I have it on 5 platforms. Why do I have it at all? I would like to see hip hop become a thing that is collectible and a thing that is prideful. Like, I love this artist, so I have this. You don't have this, but I have this. When we hang out, I can share this with you. I can press play on this and it can alter our space, but this is mine because I went out and bought this with my money and now it's mine to share.
Yes.
That's that I think is a part of where I don't know. Hip hop is already like it's in the ether at this point. It's like a part of the atmosphere. It's beyond any version of it that I could have ever predicted
Hmm.
or manifested in any way. Like, but I think the thing, and that doesn't necessarily have to be tied to hip hop. That's more of a music thing. Like, I would just like to see music and like be appreciated for the art that it is. Um, and I think the society's ever changing. So I think right now it's transitional. I don't think music is ever a thing that will go away. Music has been since the beginning of fucking time. So I think in our current version, whatever update, whatever season of Earth we're on, in this version, I think music is still kind of finding its home in it. Um,
Yeah. More so, I think it's more us and the way that we consume, and that goes for everything. I spoke to, I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but Anastasia, um, incredible voice. And we talked about how the value of music has dropped because it's so accessible. So people don't really value music anymore because you can just press play, and listening to music has become something passive. You just put on a playlist that you probably haven't even made, and it's not an active thing like you just said where you buy music, you put it on, you listen to it with friends. It's just this thing in the
like a
background.
it's like a chore for some people.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to this. Even if it's your favorite artist, they dropped last year and they got another one. I don't have, so much of it is like the fast pace of your life, So I get it. I would just like to see it, you know.
Transcend that. Yeah. Yeah. I get that.